Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Pokemon Go video. In this video, I'm going to be going over the potential level cap increase that we could be seeing very soon in Pokemon Go, and how I think Niantic is actually going to implement it. And so before we go ahead and get started with this discussion, if you guys do enjoy this video, feel free to hit that like button down below. I'd really appreciate it. And if you guys are new to the channel and would like to see more Pokemon Go content like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So right away, the first thing that I think we need to go over right now is the level cap increase that happened in Ingress initially. For those of you guys who do not know what Ingress is basically Niantic's previous game and is the foundation for Pokestops and gyms in Pokemon Go. For those of you guys who would like to know more about this, definitely make sure to check out my How to Play Ingress for Pokemon Go Player series part 3, which goes over spacing and S2 cells in detail, so that way you guys can understand how it all kind of ties together. But in this video, I just kind of wanted to bring that up for those of you guys who do not know what Ingress already is. Anyways, now that you know what Ingress is, let's go ahead and move on over to my next thing, which is going to be the increased level cap. So Ingress originally only went from level 1 to 8, and then eventually over time they increased the level cap from 8 to 16. And so basically, this is somewhat of a correlation in regards to Pokemon Go. So in order to get to level 8 in Ingress, you needed 1.2 million AP, which is essentially XP in Pokemon Go. Now, in order to get to level 16, you need 40 million AP. Additionally, you need a bunch of gold medals, platinum medals, and onyx medals as well to get to level 16. And so in regards to the level cap increase in Ingress, it wasn't just purely AP or XP, it was actually a combination of the two in regards to medals plus AP. Now, I could actually imagine that we would have a similar situation with the level cap increase in Pokemon Go, because it is so easy to get XP nowadays. I mean, honestly, getting to level 40 is so much easier now than it was a few years ago, and that's a big thing, guys. I mean, getting XP is so simple with the friendship bonuses, and even now we have the Adventure Week 10 times XP on new Pokestops, and that's 20 times XP on new Pokestops with the Lucky X. So yeah, that's a lot of experience that is very, very easy to attain. I mean, as a free-to-play player, I almost have 55 million experience. For pay-to-play players, I mean, they're in the hundreds of millions at this point, so gaining a lot of XP is definitely not as difficult as some might imagine. Now, of course, I'm just kind of trying to bring these two together. Basically, I think that we're going to be getting somewhat of a similar scenario. We're going to have a certain amount of gold medals required to level up, and I do think that they are going to add platinum and onyx tier medals as well. And so by adding platinum and onyx type medals, it is going to help the scaling moving from level 40 to 50 be a lot smoother rather than it just being purely off XP alone. So I really do hope that that is the way that they are going to implement the level cap increase. And of course, I can't give you a precise amount of scaling. Like, let's say, for example, right now it's 2,000 for the gold collector medal, right? Maybe it would be 10,000 for platinum and then like 50,000 for onyx or something like that. In Ingress, the scaling from platinum to onyx is immense, so you're definitely going to have to grind if you do want to get those onyx medals, and I think it's actually going to provide a new challenge for level 40 players as well. As of right now, there isn't a whole lot of medal grinding for level 40 players because, I mean, if you have everything gold, of course you could just go for a numbers game kind of thing, but having the platinum and onyx type medals actually adds a nice challenge as well. So I am hoping that they do add that to Pokemon Go, as they have previously done in Ingress. Again, this wasn't initially in Ingress, this was something that they added on later in the game, and that is why I truly believe that Pokemon Go is going to get a similar addition to the game. I think it would really help out with the level cap increase, and it would actually make a lot more sense. Now, of course, this all is great and all, right? But why would we even need a level cap increase? That's what we're going to get to right now. So, for the past couple of months, Pokestop submissions have been going out to certain countries, right? Now, this is really cool and this is great and all, but you have to understand something. The amount of submitters has been increasing exponentially, but the amount of reviewers has basically stayed the same, because the people who review these Pokestops are the same people who review portals in Ingress. They are level 12 Ingress players, also known as OPR, Operation Portal Recon. And if you think about it, guys, increasing the amount of submitters to this exponential amount, even thinking about, rolling it out globally, and you only have the level 12 Ingress players actually reviewing this stuff, I mean, imagine how big the backlog is going to get. As of right now, the backlog is actually pretty bad, and you know, certain reviewers can only get to so many PokeStops and portals, you know, because think about it, they not only have the Ingress portals to review, they also have the PokeStop submissions to review as well. I mean, and that is kind of insane. And so by adding the level cap increase, something I want to see, and I'm not sure exactly what level it should be acquired at, but we should have our own OPR in a sense for Pokemon Go. We need to have reviewers, guys. Now, of course, you do go through a certain amount of trading, and then you also kind of get experience as you start to review PokeStops. And I think that is incredibly important because as of right now, so many Pokemon Go players who are submitting do not understand the correct criteria, and they do not understand spacing. Again, if you want to understand spacing a little bit better, go ahead and watch part 3 of my Ingress series, which goes over it in detail. And it's incredibly important to know, guys, especially if you are the ones who actually have access to submitting PokeStops. Definitely make sure to go and watch that video, guys. That way your stuff does actually get approved. And so basically this is how it works. S17 cells are for PokeStops. S19 cells are for portals. Portals have a smaller cell than PokeStop. So for example, a certain cell that could be a PokeStop, right? If you submit in the same cell that already has a PokeStop, that will become a portal in Ingress, but not a PokeStop in Pokemon Go, just based off the cell size. And not only that, a lot of stuff that is getting submitted is actually duplicates, because Pokemon Go players cannot see what is in Ingress, so it doesn't really help. Now, of course, this is something that Niantic has to fix in regards to releasing it globally. If not, it's going to be a major problem because as of right now, so many submissions that are going through are duplicates simply because Pokemon Go players cannot see what is currently in Ingress. Now, of course, playing both Ingress and Pokemon Go is one solution, and that's something that I do. I did recently hit level 10 in Ingress, so I just started submitting PokeStops or portals myself, and, you know, understanding both games and being able to access the Ingress Intel map helps so much with that. Without the Ingress Intel map, I have no idea how I would even be able to submit PokeStops in-game without even knowing that there was a portal in the same cell or something, right? It helps so much, guys. So that's just one of the flaws, right, that OPR has to deal with, and I think that it's something that Niantic has to fix in the future before they launch this globally. But the ever-increasing amount of submitters has become more and more of a problem in regards to the backlog of submissions for the reviewers in Ingress, because we desperately need Pokemon Go reviewers, and that is, again, is where the level cap increase comes into play. Because as of right now, if level 40 players were given the ability to, you know, become a reviewer, I mean, you'd have hundreds, thousands, you know, hundreds of thousands probably, who would actually be reviewing the PokeStops. And that wouldn't be a bad thing, but again, you do want to also, you know, have it be something that you work towards. Again, you know, when the level cap increase in Ingress came out, it was level 12, and so think about it, it'd be 4 levels higher, right? So in a comparison to Pokemon Go, maybe that would be 4 or 5 levels higher, like level 45, you would get the ability to review PokeStops, and I think that'd be a pretty good level, given that it's probably not that much experience and it requires a decent amount of medals, but nothing non-attainable, right, for some hardcore Pokemon Go players. And again, Pokemon Go reviewers will be able to review PokeStops all around the world, and I believe the way it works in Ingress is that you pick one location that's kind of close to you that you can kind of focus on, so you will get some submissions from there, and then in general you have to review a bunch of other stuff around the world or just around the general vicinity, right? And this is why it is so important to increase that level cap in order to add Pokemon Go reviewers into the game. It is becoming a very, very big problem, guys. The backlog is basically just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I mean, imagine having a pile of work on your desk and every day you come into work, that pile just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, no matter how much you work it down. That's basically what's happening with portal submissions and PokeStop submissions in Pokemon Go and Ingress. You have the same amount of people working, but the amount of paperwork that keeps coming in is so much more than you can even handle. Eventually it's going to get to the point where it just explodes and falls all over your desk, and obviously at that point you would quit, right? And I'm sure that level 12 Ingress players will definitely quit over time if they just continue to see bad submissions and they just kind of get over it themselves. Now, I think there is a medal in Ingress to actually do multiple OPR submissions, so like the more you do, the more you work towards your medal. In that sense, of course, you know, some players will continue doing it, but I know a lot of players are getting fed up with it, and we desperately need Pokemon Go reviewers. And we also need a Pokemon Go map similar to the Ingress intel map. I mean, honestly, it is so important to be able to see both and to understand that portals are in a certain cell, and that way, you know, you don't go and submit something that already has a portal, it already has a PokeStop, and therefore, you know, creating this bigger problem. And so in time, I definitely think that level 12 Ingress players are going to just quit entirely. They're just going to get over, you know, seeing all these bad submissions, and they're just going to stop, and that's going to become more of a problem because we only have so many level 12 Ingress players who are actually reviewing. You know, it takes a long time to get to level 12 in Ingress. It is really, really difficult. I don't even want to attempt it myself. I got to level 10, and that was already difficult enough for me. Level 12, not happening anytime soon. I don't even know if I'm even gonna go for it, and that says a lot, guys. Pokemon Go, though, I'd be happy to go for level 45 if that was an option, definitely. Pokemon Go is my game of choice, in all honesty. I mean, of course, I do enjoy Ingress. I do enjoy the fact that I can submit Pokestops and portals now, but having the ability to review those Pokestops would definitely be an awesome feature for higher level players, and I think those players definitely earn that right to unlock a similar version of OPR in Pokemon Go. So that is basically my take on the level cap increase and why I think it is incredibly important. Now, of course, there's also going to be Pokemon power-up scalings, which I don't think is going to be a big jump. The main reason I say that is because level 30 to level 40 is only a 10% increase in the power potential. Now, additionally, there are attack break points and then HP and defense bulk points, so I don't know how the scaling would work in regards to those. I definitely think your Pokemon would tank a lot longer, so their total damage output would be a lot higher with the increased level cap, but I don't think, you know, the attack damage is going to be significant. So in that regard, you know, I don't think it's going to be a big jump, but it's definitely something to consider with the level cap increase. It's also going to cost you a lot more Stardust and a lot more candy, so keep that in mind as well. But aside from that, guys, I think the main thing is just being able to have the ability to submit Pokestops and then also review Pokestops. I mean, level 40 seems like it's a fine level right now. Maybe level 42 might be better for Pokestop submissions, because level 40 is pretty easy to get to. I believe originally in Ingress, it was level 8 that had the ability to submit portals, and then when the global release happened, it actually got moved up to level 10. And so additionally, to be level 10 on top of the AP, you actually had to have 5 silver medals and 2 gold medals, along with 4 million total AP. So it went from 1.2 million all the way to 4 million, and then you had to have a certain amount of silver and gold medals as well. This way it shows that you grinded and it wasn't just like you just purely focused on XP, because you could do that in Pokemon Go. If the level cap increase was just based off XP alone, you could simply just farm friendship bonuses and then get to level 40 or get to level 45 or whatever it is, right? Super fast. But combining it with certain medals that you need to have, this is going to make sure that you are actually a dedicated Pokemon Go player and you have played the game a decent amount. That's why it's so important, guys, that with the level cap increase, we do see a combination of XP and medals. But only time will tell, my friends. I'm really excited to see what happens with the future of Pokemon Go in regards to the level cap increase. Of course, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Let's have a discussion. This is definitely something that I'm very passionate about, and I will be making more videos on this in the future, so we can definitely expand on it. If there's anything that you guys want me to cover more in detail or just kind of talk about, let me know in the comment section down below as well. But that is basically going to do it for this video, my friends. If you did enjoy it, feel free to hit that like button down below. I'd really appreciate it. And if you guys would like to see more Pokemon Go discussions like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well. And I will see you all real soon in the next one.